Welcome, everyone, to race number 4 of Season 2 of the Short Track Superstock Series, hosted by the iRacing Superstock League and sponsored by Econo Auto Painting and Bodyworks and Smith Wraps and Graphics. Tonight, the drivers will be competing at Pensacola's finest Five Flag Speedway. I'm your announcer, Atlee, @ManWeese, and joining me tonight to call the action, my good friend and experienced iRacer, Joe Wright. Hey, Joe, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, Atlee. How you been? I'm excited about this Five Flag Speedway. I went there last year around this time and checked it out. It was really nice.
Home to the famed Snowball Derby. That's really cool that you went there. It's been
it's pretty cool. They have concrete stands. You sit on a block of concrete in the stands, and all those people down in Pensacola love the racetrack there, and they always have a packed stadium. It's a good time.
Let's talk about the series that you all are watching tonight. The Short Track Superstock Series will always be on Monday nights in the street stocks at a different short track each week, and the league is free to join, but these drivers will be competing for cash prizes thanks to our generous sponsors. And those include Econo Auto Painting and Bodyworks and Smith Wraps Graphics, and we're going to do ads for both of them. If you're looking for a quality paint job or body work at an affordable price in Fort Pierce, Florida, Econo Auto Painting and Bodyworks is the place for you. They'll provide you with the best value for your money and service starting at only $299. At Econo, their service is friendly and efficient, providing customers with an enjoyable experience and a quick turnaround period from when you drop off to when you pick up. For a free estimate, you can stop into their Fort Pierce location off Olander Avenue, just west of US 1 and north of Weatherby Road. You can call them at 772-465-9444. Again, 772-465-9444. Or, if this is easier for you, you can find them on Facebook at Econo Auto Painting and Bodyworks. And we'd also like to thank Smith Wraps and Graphics. And with over 25 years in the signs, graphics, and wraps business, Smith Wraps and Graphics is committed to quality products and exceptional customer service. Their nickname Swag. It's a family-owned small business that is located in Yorktown, Virginia, and serves commercial customers and the racing community up and down the East Coast. For more information, you can call them at 757-874-2438. Again, 757-874-2438. Or you can visit them on Facebook at Smith Wraps and Graphics. So last week we raced at Concord Speedway, and Kendrick Cryer won. Here's the rest of the top 5. Second was Wyatt C. Martin. Third was Matthew Dula. Fourth was Michael Rosero. And fifth was Mackenzie Brewer. Tonight's format: 4-lap qualifier, 2-lap heats, top 6. Well, the top 6 is qualifies from qualifying, and top 6 qualifies from the 2 heats. It's going to be a 55-lap race. Each driver will have 1 reset or fast repair and a maximum of 22 incidents. If needed, there's going to be 3 attempts at a green light checker. So, Joe, after hearing that format, and since you've been there, have had experience there, what should we expect from these drivers after watching practice, seeing what's been going on?
Well, I was looking at the full layout for tonight's event that was put on by Ian, and he's saying that if they don't get 20 drivers, they'll take the top 12 from the first heat and they'll move straight into the main race. So it looks like right now we have 12 drivers signed up. So if they don't get more than 20, then they'll just do one heat race and take those 12 drivers, I think.
Interesting. So, 12 drivers. From fastest time has been Kendrick Cryer with a 18.085. There's been 2 other drivers that have shown a lot of speed in practice. That's been Kendrick Cryer and Matthew Dula and Michael Rosero. But all that changes as we're now getting geared up for qualifying.
Yeah, Matthew Dula had the fastest lap at an 18:0.73 with Kendrick Cryer not far behind him. Almost a tenth faster, about 7/700ths faster than Michael Rosero. So
we're going to have different drivers cycling through on the screen. A quick look at the upcoming schedule again tonight. We're racing at Five Flags. Next week, going to be USA. Then somebody might be getting a grandfather clock. We've got Martinsville, South Boston, and the final race of the season is going to be at the Las Vegas Bull Ring. So an awesome looking schedule for these next upcoming 4 races and the final 4 races of the season. So something to look forward to.
Ooh, the 03 got a little loose in qualifying there, hit the inside wall. So the Travis Hawkins, the 03, he's currently running 6th with a 18:7.28.
Yep,
Atley, we see that Mackenzie Brewer's not made it this week so far. As we move through qualifying here, they're going to have a couple drop weeks, right?
Mm-hmm. He missed the first week when we raced because there was a maximum drivers, but he seems to not have made it this week either. So luckily, 2 drop weeks. That's why we aren't mentioning the point standings, because if we did the 2 drop weeks, the point standings would change quite a bit.
Absolutely. And I'm kind of concerned watching qualifying here. A lot of loose guys out there. I don't know if it's just the hot lapping or what. And Five Flags is a pretty old speedway. I think it's going to chunk up those tires pretty good, and those guys are going to put a lot of downforce into the corners. I think we're going to see a lot of loose driving early in the race. I think we're going to see a lot of tight driving, tight off later in the race, and that could cause some wrecks.
Some information about Five Flags Speedway. It's a half-mile paved oval opened in 1953. Five Flags Speedway takes its name from its proximity to Pensacola, Florida, known as the city of Five Flags, in reference to the fact that 5 governments have ruled the city, and those include Spain, France, Great Britain, the Confederate States of America, and the United States of America. Five Flags is one of the fastest short tracks in America thanks to its steep 15-degree banking and wide turns that give the track a nearly circular configuration. Although the track...
That goes back to my point that the downforce is going to be quite wicked for these guys for such a short track, high speed short track, diving into those corners on 15-degree bankings and eating up those tires pretty good.
Although the track was a stop on actually NASCAR's senior circuit in the Cup Series, in its early days since 1968, Five Flags has been home to the annual Snowball Derby. Held each December, the Snowball Derby is considered the year's premier super late model event. Past winners have included Donnie Allison, Darrell Waltrip, Rich Bickle Jr., Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, and Chase Elliott. Five Flags Speedway also at regular season features super late models, pro late models, super stock, sportsmen, and bombers every other Friday night from March through December. So amazing track if you're in the Pensacola area. Recommend visiting it.
I actually got to watch ARCA cars there. They had the Toyotas, the Haley Deegan East Coast ARCA K&N series was actually there, I think. I guess they've combined them both now. She wasn't there, but the 19 Toyota Monster car did win it when I was there. So
okay,
those Toyotas are stout in the ARCA series.
So the qualifying standings, it's not. Is it? Looks like Kendrick Cryer's on the top.
Yep, it looks like Kendrick Cryer's got the best lap with the 18:174. Rosero in second with a 2:26. Dula right behind him with a 2:69. And even closer, Chase Johnson in fourth with a 2:70.
Those times don't seem to be popping up for me, so thank you for informing.
Yep, so those are the top 4. Kendrick Cryer, Michael Rosero, Matthew Dula, Chase, and Johnson. And then it'll be Daniel Cox, Michael
There we
Miller,
go.
Jonathan Mitchum, Craig Smith, Landon Huffman, Ron Morris, James Batzer, Travis Hawkins, Nathaniel Nixon, and Raymond Sikora. So it looks like we had a couple guys sneak in during qualifying. We're up to 14 now. I would imagine they're going to do one heat and take the top 12 for the main.
I did notice that there is another driver that's not with us. Tyler Tomasi, he had a tough break last race when a lap car pulled in front of his driving line. So I don't see him here. He might have to use another one of his drop weeks.
Yeah, last night we didn't see him or McKenzie last night either in the Sabbath Day series, which is another super stock series that's teamed up with another organization that Intensity Broadcasting broadcasts, and they were at Texas Motor Speedway. At one point, Atlee, they tried to go 3 wide through the quad dog leg, and
Wow.
it didn't work.
So who ended up winning the race?
That's a good question. Ian Martin won the race
Ian
for the
Martin.
third week. I think it's the third week in a row he's
Third
won.
week in a row.
Maybe not.
We might have
Yeah.
to set up a bounty, kind of like Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I might have to go in there and race on Sundays, I think.
That'd
Go
be
take him out.
interesting. You could be like in the iRacing Pro Invitational. We could have another announcer, and you could be like Clint Boyer and like Jeff Gordon, where you were like the in-race reporter.
In-race reporter.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I thought about doing that in this one because this is pretty open, right? There's no buy-in fee. You can just jump in here and drive. I've been thinking about doing that.
And the cool thing is that all classes are allowed to come into these races, and most of the tracks that we race on are free with just a normal iRacing membership when you first join iRacing. We see we got one rookie in here, some D class, C classes. So a lot of unexperienced drivers come here and race with us, and sometimes we're seeing the more experienced drivers on top. A class, Kendrick Cryer, Michael Rosero, Matthew Dula, all three of them are A class, and they're on the top of the board. Who's the highest I rating?
I have the highest I rating as Landon S. Huffman right now in the field of cars.
He's in B class with a 2,865 I rating, but he's 9th in qualifying.
Now remember, you do get points for keeping it clean, and based on what we were talking about before, you can hot lap, you can be up there with Kendrick and Michael and Matthew, but are you going to run them tires off? That's the question, and I think that's where you see some of those more conservative drivers like Craig Smith and maybe Landon Huffman and Ron Morris even maybe being more conservative and being there at the end. We'll see what happens, though. I think we might have some strategy when it comes to tires as well if there's some wrecks.
Because like you said, the older pavement can wear out tires. So it looks like qualifying. Nobody else needs to qualify.
Yep, it looks like we're getting ready for the heat here in a second. Got about a minute and a half left of qualifying time. And he just finished Ian did his pre-race talk with the guys.
It's going to be hard to top that Talladega race. I know your guy Ryan Blaney ended up winning it.
What a race, huh, buddy? Man, I was screaming at the TV. It was awesome.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Blaney side by side down to the line. Eric Almirola slid across the finish line backwards for third.
Awesome finish. I think Denny Hamlin came away with fourth because of that too. So
yeah, I ended up I do NASCAR Fantasy Live. I ended up actually predicting that Ryan Blaney would win, along with the manufacturer winner being Ford. Fords have always been good at Talladega and super speedways in general.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I watched that whole race. It was super exciting watching him go from the back A, and he pulled one of me where he sat back there and kept that fuel strategy going, and I think he would have won it either way. I really do.
And we might see some strategy here too with the whole tires situation. Hopefully we don't have to worry about the nighttime like we did last race at Concord, I believe. The Snowball Derby's a night race, so Five Flags should have lights.
They do have lights. I don't know if it looks like the time in the sim is 3:45 p.m. So I don't think we'll see night unless there's a lot of caution laps for some reason. But
We're now gridding for. So there, how many is there gonna be? How many heat races are gonna be now?
it looks like there's gonna be one heat race here. We'll take the top 12 into the main, I believe.
There's only 8 cars in this heat race, though.
Okay, so then they took the top 6, and they'll take the next 6.
From here,
So whoever finished in the top 6, it'll be 12 for the main, I believe.
So we're gonna be this entire heat race, not necessarily looking up at the front, but more or less the cutoff spot.
Well, I think typically, actually, Atlee, now that I said that, typically we have an 18-car field, so I think all these guys are going to make it. This will just be where they start based on this.
So this is like a qualifying race.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, they
There's
took the top 6 from qualifying. So those are your top 6. They'll start 1st through 6th in the main, and then this will determine the rest of the field.
So this is exhibition/qualifying race.
It actually gives them an advantage. They're going to see what racing out here is like with these guys. They're going to see where they can make up ground and what the strategy might be. They'll be able to look at tire wear when this heat race is over with. Those are a lot of positives to being part of the heat race. So, again, Jonathan Mitchum, Craig Smith, Landon Huffman, Ron Morris, James Batzer. These are all guys who might be right there at the end. You never know.
So again, we got Jonathan Mitchum on the front row. He has been a regular. Same thing with Craig Smith, one of the cleaner. He's known for setting 0 incident count races. Really, this is just going to be a qualifying race. No points or anything being in this race. It's just dipping their feet, getting their feet wet for this race.
Green flag's out.
Green flag is out here at Five Flag Speedway. And here comes the 77 of Landon S. Humphrey jumping under the 15 of Jonathan Mitchum. They're side by side into turns 3 and 4. Looks like Landon S. Huffman, though, has cleared the 15 car of Jonathan Mitchum, as that was a very exciting first lap of this heat race.
That was a power move, if I ever seen one. He dove up in there. He knew he had it. He stuck it, and he followed through with it. And he's going to lead this thing coming back to the flag here.
I saw James Batzer get loose in the straightaway. It doesn't look like the caution comes out. I doubt we'll see any cautions in this heat race.
There are no cautions in the heat races.
All right, so no cautions. Like the 76 and the 7 got a battle between them. A battle for last place, side by side between James Baxter and the 555 car.
And Batzer's loose, gets into the wall there, coming off the corner. He's got to get into that groove, I think. He's got to stay off that high side.
Normally this would be like fighting for the position. This normally would be like the cutoff, but right now they have nothing to worry about, as all of these guys will end up making it to the actual race. And still, it's all Landon S. Huffman with Jonathan Mitchum and Craig Smith right behind him.
That's a cool looking car that Jonathan Mitchum's driving, the police car. It's pretty sweet looking.
Mm-hmm. And same thing, we've seen the drop and bombs car of Craig Smith, and I believe there's somebody else racing in the dropping bombs car. So a lot of cool paint schemes in these short track super stock league races. Again, here's a look at that paint scheme that you were talking about of Jonathan Mitchum. What a cool paint scheme.
Looks like James Batzer got back by the 555 of Raymond Sikora and is now looking to get to the 76 of Ron Morris back there. He's finally found the line.
So here's the 03 car of... Here's the car in the back that you're talking about, the 555 car. And in front of him, James Baxter has a everly growing lap as he's now trying to catch up to the 76 of Ron Morse. 3 laps to go. I believe it's now going to be 2 laps to go.
So some interesting things. Landon Huffman's laying down 18.033s, almost 0.2 faster than the guy behind him, and 0.3 faster than most of the guys out here. So
Craig
that's something to
Smith.
be looking for in that main.
Craig Smith makes his way up to the 2nd position over the 15 car of Jonathan Mitchum. Let's see if Jonathan Mitchum can get him back in the next 2 laps. Or he might try to save it. Final lap.
And Craig laid down a lap on that one where he made the pass, 18.126, so he's within a 10th now.
Not really much other action on the track, so it should finish the way it is right now unless someone wrecks. First place goes to Landon S. Huffman, then got Craig Smith, Jonathan Mitchum. And they all cross the finish line.
Travis Hawkins, Nathaniel Nixon, Ron Morris, James Batzer, Raymond Sikora rounding out the top 8 in the heat. So now we're going to go to the main.
But first we're going to have a warm-up for these cars to just continue on testing their stuff out at this half-mile track in Pensacola, Florida. We'll get some of the action going on. We've seen a lot of wrecks going on in practice. Hopefully it's going to be different. Sometimes these races turn out to be wreck fests and sometimes no cautions at all.
I mean, based on what we just saw in that heat race, I think those guys, some of them were pretty aggressive. We're going to have a couple more people out here this time, so it might be a little bit crazy, but I don't see it being as wreck festy as you think. I do think later in the run we are going to see some more desperation and maybe some not so good handling cars though. So
Kendrick Cryer right now. Oh, now Mike Rosero's on the top of the board. And practice is always a good decider on the predictions for the race. So Joe, do you have a prediction for the winner of this race?
oh boy, who did I pick last week? I picked Kendrick Cryer last week, right? And he took the W. So I think I'm gonna go with a throw from left field. I'm gonna go with Chase and Johnson just to see. Maybe he can do something this week.
I'm gonna have to go with Matthew Dula.
All right.
He showed a lot of speed in practice and qualifying. So I think he has a chance. Also, Michael Rosero trying both. Everybody here is trying to end Kendrick Cryer's 2-race win streak. He's won the past 2 races at Concord and New Smyrna. And also Michael Rosero, he ended up winning the first race of the series at Lanier. So 2 drivers have gotten separate wins. With Kendrick Cryer having 2, Mike Rosero having 1 win.
Those top 4 guys, Kendrick Cryer, Michael Rosero, Matt Dula, and Chase N. Johnson, those guys are going to put the bumper to each other. They're going to battle. It's a guarantee that those guys are going to move each other if they need to get ahead of the other one. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with those 4 or the top 3 even, and see if my boy Chase can just slide on by and go get that W.
We're going to try to get the admin for this race. He's the 3-time in a row winner in the South Day Racing Series, Ian Martin, in the booth. Hey Ian, this is Atlee and Joe in the booth. Do you copy?
Yep, I got you.
So looking at the practice, qualifying, and the heat race, what should we be expecting here at Pensacola's finest, Five Flags Speedway?
I'm expecting a really good race. I think we got 13 or 14 guys in here. Didn't get a full field tonight, but I think it's going to make for even better racing.
So I was just telling Atlee that I thought that the top 4 there that you got in qualifying are going to be battling it out, and those guys aren't afraid to be aggressive with each other in a respectful manner. So I think you're going to have some really good racing at the front.
Yep, they know how we run the show.
Well, good luck admitting this race. Hopefully, we'll see some great racing as practice is wrapping up. So good luck admitting.
Yep, thank you.
It looks like Ian Martin, the race admin that we just talked to, is on the track right now, has the fastest time, 18.032.
Yeah, he said he was going to get out there and turn some laps. So he's right there with what
Huffman
was turning in in the heat race too. So don't be surprised to see Landon Huffman come from the back, given his iRating and the speed he's showing both in practice and in that heat race. I think I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna change my pick. Can I do that?
Mm-hmm. You just can't.
Batman, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. You think I can change my pick? Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going with Huffman. I'm going with the 77.
I'm still staying. Oh, I have to change my pick because Matthew Dula, he hasn't turned any laps in practice, so I'm gonna change my pick. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna steal your old pick, and if he ends up winning, you'll feel shameful that you didn't root for him. I'm gonna go with Chasen Johnson in the number 57 Chick-fil-A car.
All right. Little switcheroo at the end.
Check out the grid. Starting in the first position, we're going to have the number 66 of Kendrick Cryer, setting a fast time of 18.174. Second place is going to be the 23 of Michael Rosero. In third, it's the 95 of Matthew Dula. In fourth, it's going to be the 57 of Chasen Johnson. Fifth is the 02 of Daniel Cox. In sixth, it's the 24, Michael Miller. In seventh, it's the 15 of Jonathan Mitchum. Eighth is the 1 of Craig Smith. Ninth is the 77 of Landon S. Huffman. 10th is the 76 of Ron Morse. 11th is the 13 of James Batzer. And in 12th, it's the 03 of Travis Hawkins. 13th, we're going to have the 7 of Nathaniel Nixon. And 14th, we're going to have the 555 of Raymond Sikora.
Looks like we lost Kendrick Cryer. He looks like his throughput fell to an unacceptable level. Hopefully he can get back in here and get his points for this race, but that's no good. That'll take a hit for sure if he doesn't get back in.
I mean, you always have the drop weeks, though. He could use, if he does end up missing the race, he does have his drop week that he can use. And now that pushes the 1 of Craig Smith up to the front.
Oh, it should be Michael Rosero in the 17 of...
Yeah. Doesn't look like there's a...
Matthew Dula, maybe? Is Dula running the... Yes, he's running the 17, Matthew Dula.
17 dropping bombs.
Custom numbers.
Pace car pulls in. And green flag is out here at Five Flag Speedway. Big jump for the 17 of Matthew Dula. Side by side is Daniel Cox and Michael Rosero for the second position. Will the inside line prevail? Still side by side as we cross the start-finish line. Landon S. Huffman gets a little bit loose there. And
looks like Cox is going to clear and go into that second spot in front of Michael Rosero there.
Oh, here comes the 77 on the bumper of the 23 of Michael Rosero. Oh, no, he gets loose. Slides up the track. Can he get out of the way of everyone? And he does. Ouch, that is disappointing for the 23 of Michael Rizzero. Still, though, nothing changes with the leader. Matthew Dula continues to lead this race. The 0-2 of Daniel Cox behind him.
Looks like they pretty much spread out at the front here at Man, and we don't have much racing going on all the way around. They're pretty much single file through the field. You see a little bit of action between the 13 and the 7. The 7 just got loose coming out of the corner there.
24 and the 24 and the 15 car are side by side. We're 3 wide between Craig Smith, the 24, and the 15. Now we're not 3 wide anymore, but we might be again. Craig Smith still under the 24 car. I believe this is the battle for the 5th position, so top 5.
Yep, and it looks like Craig Smith is going to clear there.
Here comes Landon S. Huffman. He gets by the 0-2 of Daniel Cox, and he is trying to narrow in the 17 of Matthew Dula.
Don't look now, at Man.
Here's Chasen Johnson right there behind Daniel Cox. Again, here comes Chasen Johnson under the 0-2 of Daniel Cox. For the 0, and looks like he does end up passing the 0-2 of Daniel Cox. So continue to watch this battle between the front 4, as they are the, I guess you could call them the fast 4. Another thing we're going to be looking at is Michael Rizzero trying to make his way back up to the field after getting loose in the first couple of laps and falling all the way back to the 12th position behind, right in front of Ron Morris. That was a shame.
He still has one of the fastest laps on the track at Lee. The only guy faster than him on the track right now is Jonathan Mitchum in the 15. So
the battle, here comes the 77 of Landon S. Huffman. He's up there on the 17 of Matthew Dula. He gets under him, but he couldn't quite make it under him in the turn, so we will continue to watch out for this battle in the coming laps. This is the battle for the lead, a very important battle. He gets up
absolutely.
there.
And you're seeing that iRating really show right now. Lots of clean racing right up on that bumper. It looks like he's going to get a good runoff here, Atlee.
He's on the quarter panel.
Oh, yeah, he's there now.
Door. He gets his nose ahead of the 17 car. Still hasn't cleared him. And, nope, still not clear. 17 car right on his quarter panel still. And he clears him. Landon S. Huffman. Oh, crossover from Matthew Dula. Oh, he gets into the 77 car. Oh, no. Here comes Chase and Johnson on the bumper of the 17 of Matthew Dula. And following behind him is the 0-2 of Daniel Cox.
A heck of a save by Huffman. He's still riding in 4th there. He's not done. He'll be back.
What a very hectic couple of laps there. As here comes Chasen Johnson for the lead. He's your new leader. Followed behind, here comes Daniel Cox getting by the 17 of Matthew Dula. Look at that. 57, Chick-fil-A. Oh, here comes on the outside Daniel Cox making that outside line work, but here comes the 57 of Chasen Johnson right back under him, and we're 3 wide.
Thing wound up. There they go.
Here comes Landon. 17 of Matthew Dula.
Johnson was scared there. He backed out. He didn't want none of that 3 wide. Here comes Huffman now for the 3rd spot.
Here comes Daniel Cox coming under the 17 of Matthew Dula. This is for the 1st position. Here comes Chasen Johnson back under Landon S. Huffman as well. Daniel Cox now takes the lead. Crossover move. Oh, another one. Another crossover move. He didn't get under him, though. Side by side for the 3rd position. Chasen Johnson trying to get under the 77 of Landon S. Huffman.
It looks like the 77's losing it a little bit on the outside. He's going to let Chase clear here and then cross it over. There it is.
Good crossover move by the 77 of Landon S. Huffman. Looks like he ends up clearing Chase and Johnson for that third position. Craig Smith in 5th place, trying to get up there to Chase and Johnson along with the 24 car.
Looks like these 02's looking pretty stout at the front there, man. He's gonna be tough to pass. He's got that outside line, keeping that engine wound up and not eating them tires up. So he might have something there.
Here comes Matthew Dula though, trying to get underneath. He was there, but he's not. He's on the bumper still.
You see that difference in the line, though? He's just staying just a little bit higher than Dula is, and that's keeping that car wound up a little bit more than what he's able to give it. Now he's going to get him there on the straightaway here, but I still think he's going to keep it wound up on that outside line.
Cleared. Matthew Dula is now your leader again, and no crossover counterattack from Daniel Cox. We continue to see Matthew Dula, but if Daniel Cox continues to have a fast car, we should see him back on the bumper of the 17 soon.
Yeah, and they're running up on a lap car of Ron Morris here. Ron said in chat that he hadn't had too many laps here, and so he's just trying to get a feeler, and he's going to stay out of the way of the leaders when they get to him. So
Joe, is the line that Cox is running right now better for the tires?
I think so, yeah. I think the late entry and the not getting down that white line right away is going to be better in the long run here. I think the hot lapping... Oh, yellow was out. Competition caution.
All right, competition caution, as Matthew Dula has shown speed, and he is currently in the lead here at Five Flags Speedway.
That's going to give drivers the opportunity to put in some strategy here. Maybe grab some tires. You definitely don't need any fuel, so you don't want to add any weight. But that might, new tires, less weight, going to loosen these things up a little bit more too. So could see some craziness now.
Matthew Dula. Watch him. Watch Daniel Cox, Landon S. Huffman, Chase and Johnson. They're going in to the pits. Landon S. Huffman stays out though.
Think that's a mistake, man. I think that's a mistake. I think these two guys are going to go in and they're going to get the tires and they're going to be faster for a while here at the beginning.
We'll see who wins the race off of pit road.
Looks like Chase and Johnson also hit the pit road too. And Michael Rosero.
Daniel Cox is going to win the race off of pit road. Second place is going to go to Chase and Johnson. Third goes to the 03 of Travis Hawkins. Then it's Matthew Dula and Michael Rosero. There went Travis Hawkins. We hadn't talked about him, but he ended up coming off, I believe, third on the race off of pit road.
Yeah, that moves him up. That gets him some track position in the field. I think he's up to 7th now.
Questionable decision from the 77 of Landon S. Huffman to stay out, along with Michael Miller also staying out.
I think the first top 4, right? First 4.
You got me there, Matt?
Stayed out.
Yep, Michael Miller, Raymond Sikora, all of them stayed out.
And Ron Morris as well.
You got a copy there, Matt?
I don't know if that's a good decision. I guess we'll see here in a second when we get back going. But I really think that that was a mistake by the top 4 here.
I don't know. They think track position is the way to go over fresh tires. We'll see if that decision plays out in the upcoming restart. We might see like Daniel Cox, Chasen Johnson, Travis Hawkins, Matthew Dula, Michael Rosero all start trying to make their way back up through the field. Lights on the pace car. have gone off. Here is your restart order. In first, we got Landon S. Huffman. Second, Michael Miller. Third, Raymond Sikora. Fourth, Ron Morris. Fifth, Daniel Cox. Sixth, Chasen Johnson. Seventh, Travis Hawkins. Eighth, Matthew Dula. Ninth, Michael Rosero. 10th, Nathaniel Nixon. That's your top 10 because we're going green, folks. Green flags out here at Five Flag Speedway. Big jump for the 77 of Landon S. Huffman. Raymond Sikora.
and he's got a wall behind him of the two other drivers that were behind him. They're holding up those guys on them fresh tires. I don't know if that's a good thing for Huffman, but I'm feeling pretty good about my pick tonight right now.
Daniel Cox makes his way to the second position. He is on fresher tires than Landon S. Huffman, so maybe will we see him start to reel in. Battle for third between Michael Rosero and Travis Hawkins. Michael Rosero ends up clearing Hawkins.
These guys on these fresh tires are gonna walk Huffman down really fast. They're about 2 or 3 tenths faster already. So,
Looking at those times, Daniel Cox he set at 18.245, while Huffman set at 18.301. Look at the next time they crossed the stripe. Now he's 2 tenths faster. Big difference between Daniel Cox on fresher tires versus Landon S. Huffman on older tires, but still, he does have the track position. So if he can hold off Daniel Cox to the end, he still has a chance to win the race.
so the gap now is 1.1 seconds, and at a tenth and a half per lap, you should see him there pretty quick. I don't think he's going to make it to the end. Now, whether or not they're going to be able to get by him, if he's going to give him the line or any of that, when they get there, that's yet to be seen. But he's only 0.8 back now already, and we're only, lap 37. We still got a long ways to go.
Another driver we're not talking about that also could follow right in behind Daniel Cox is Michael Rosero. He also has a big chance. He's gotten to the 17s. And then he's 2 tenths ahead of Landon S. Huffman as well. So also look out there for Michael Rosero in the 23 to try to get by the 77 of Landon.
Yeah, we'll see what those lap times look like now that they're in dirty air and behind Huffman. But I still think they're going to be, more aggressive and have a better run off the corners because of those fresh tires.
Here's Daniel Cox right on the bumper of the 77 of Landon S. Huffman. We predicted it might happen. Here he comes under the 77 of Landon S. Huffman. Knocks him up the track. Here comes Michael Rosero on the quarter panel of the 02 of Daniel Cox. Caution is out.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Huffman, I'm going to get them tires right here.
He
The
saw
only chance you got. Otherwise, those guys got you.
Yeah, he saw the difference that those fresh tires made. And he might try to go in, and we might see Landon S. Huffman give Daniel Cox and...
Do we know what that caution was for?
No. We're going to try to get Ian Martin into the booth to try to ask him what happened there with that car.
Oh, it looks like the 13.
Oh, okay. 13 car. Where is he? He's James Batzer.
Says he lost it on his own and hit the wall.
Okay.
And they threw the caution just because he was coming back up into oncoming traffic off the wall. So they just want to wreck the whole field to call it caution.
We do have confirmation. Kendrick Cryer, he started on the pole, but he did, in fact, lose his internet connection. That is a shame. But luckily...
And it looks like we got some pit takers. Landon S. Huffman's in the pit. Ron Morris and Raymond Sikora all getting some tires here. They saw that change, and I think we might see something good here now from old Huffman, but he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, not too much of a difference between him and Daniel Cox and Michael Rosero on tires, but still just a tiny difference could result in Landon S. Huffman. We're going to watch his times to see how they compare to Daniel Cox's and Michael Rosero's. It did take Cox a decently long time to try to catch up to Landon S. Huffman. It could have taken longer if Landon S. Huffman had decided to maybe block.
Yeah, I think 10 laps is going to be too short for him. I don't think he's going to be that much faster than those guys on fresh tires. They got 15 laps on him at me, so maybe.
Who knows? Kendrick Cryer, Daniel Cox, Michael Rosero. Also, Travis Hawkins is in the mix here in the 03 car. Watch out for him. Matthew Dula, Chase N. Johnson. The entire top 5 are very fast cars. Here's going to be your restart order in the first. Again, 02 of Daniel Cox. Second is going to be Michael Rosero. Third will be the 03 of Travis Hawkins. Fourth is going to be Matthew Dula. Fifth, Chase N. Johnson. Sixth, Craig Smith. Seventh, Jonathan Mitchum. Eighth, Nathaniel Nixon. Ninth, Ron Morris. 10th, Landon S. Huffman. 11th, James Batzer. 12th, Michael Miller. And 13th, Raymond Sikora. Here we go. Green flag is out here at Five Flag Speedway. Good jump here for Daniel Cox. Here comes Travis Hawkins trying to get out and under the 23 of Michael Rosero. They're still side by side into turns 3 and 4 and on to the straightaway. Both of them have equally fast race cars, but in the end, it looks like Travis Hawkins is going to clear Mike Rosero. Now, Chase N. Johnson's trying to get under Rosero.
What a battle at the front we got going on, Atlee. Meanwhile, you got Huffman coming through the field. He's already up to the 7th spot, I believe. 8th spot.
Nathaniel Nixon.
And he's going to clear for 7th now.
So now he's going to try to get up to Craig Smith in the 1 car, and then Matthew Dula in the 17 car. Speaking of Matthew Dula, he's side by side with Michael Rosero. Well, here comes the battle for second. Chase N. Johnson trying to get under the 03 of Travis Hawkins.
Ooh, caution's
out.
And it looks like it was the 13th of James Batzer again.
13 car.
And Ron Morris as well was involved in that one.
We're going to try to get the instant replay and catch exactly what happened here. The 13 gets into the turns, and then he just gets loose. Tags the fence, the inside fence, and then right into the 24 car. That's a shame.
Cars.
Had nowhere to go. I believe we might be restarting on a green-white checkered. This could be good for Landon S. Huffman as he continues to try to make his way up through the field.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him. He's got 6 guys ahead of him that are really good racers. 15-lap newer tires, but I don't think it's going to be enough to be able to make that kind of move in a green-white checker situation. Maybe. It could tuck each other out. We'll see what happens, though.
We didn't see much of a battle for first, but from second through fourth, there was a big battle going on between Chase N. Johnson, Travis Hawkins, Matthew Dula, and Michael Rosero. Very entertaining to watch. Even if it's not a battle for the lead, it's still a battle, and it's fun to watch here at Five Flag Speedway. So far, it's produced awesome racing. Has it been what you'd expected, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's exactly what the track provides. Two groove racing, the ability to run on the outside. Those guys were running 3 or 4 laps next to each other, 2x2. So it was really good to watch. A lot of fun.
Not over yet. Green, white, checkered. Hopefully, it can be just as entertaining as that Talladega race. Maybe a photo finish.
I think to get one over on Daniel Cox, you're gonna have to put the bumper to him here and move him out the way. Otherwise, this race is him.
Who has Daniel Cox. He does not. The fastest time in the race belongs to Michael Rosero with a 17.9 .995, only driver to crack into the 17s. Let's see. Daniel Cox has gotten into the 18 zeros. Here's going to be a restart order. Starting in first, it's going to be the 02 of Daniel Cox. Second, got Chase and Johnson. Third, Travis Hawkins. Fourth, Matthew Dula. Fifth, Michael Rosero. Sixth, Craig Smith. Seventh, Landon S. Huffman. Eighth, Jonathan Mitchum. Ninth, Nathaniel Nixon. 10th, Ron Morris. 11th, Michael Miller. And 12th,
Pace cars
Raymond
off.
Sikora.
Hammer green.
Green flag is back out here at 5 Flag Speedway. Daniel Cox clears both of them. 2 laps to go now on the board. Travis Hawkins trying to get under the 57 of Chasen Johnson. He does end up. Michael Rosero trying to get by him. 1 lap to go. 02 of Daniel Cox has shown a lot of speed as the leader of this race. Here comes Michael Rosero coming under the 03 of Travis Hawkins. This is the battle for the second place. They make contact and he ends up taking it. Oh no! Landon S. Huffman, 03 gets, we wrecked across the finish line.
The 03 pulled an Eric Almirola.
Let's watch that. There goes the 17. He went up on the 57. Boom, 57 tags the fence. Pulls down into the the 1 of Craig Smith. Then the 03 again pulls in Eric Almirola. Goes across the finish line in style for third. Oh my gosh. What a finish.
Congratulations to Daniel Cox on a heck of a win and a dominant performance. Once he got to the front, he was untouchable there.
And then the rest, that had to have been the craziest final finish. But look at him doing his donuts. Daniel Cox is the new winner here. He gets his first win of the iRacing Short Track Superstock League Season 2. And hopefully he can continue on that streak in the next few races. We're coming up on next week, USA International Speedway. We're going to try to get most of the drivers into the booth. It doesn't look like we have Daniel Cox in the booth, so the closest we can get, we're going to try to get Michael Rosero. But Daniel Cox representing Club Virginia. So that's either
Awesome.
where he lives right now or where he lived when he got his iRacing account. Daniel Cox with the win. Second place, Michael Rosero. Third was Travis Hawkins. In fourth, Landon S. Huffman. Fifth was Craig Smith. Sixth was Jonathan Mitchum. Seventh was Matthew Dula. Eighth was Chasen Johnson. Ninth was the 7 of Nathaniel Nixon. 10th was Ron Morse. 11th was Michael Miller. 12th was Raymond Sikora. And 13th was James Batzer. So we're going to try to get Michael Rosero into the booth first.
Okay.
Start trying to come up with questions. Hey, Michael, this is Atlee and Joe in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir. I got you. 10-4.
So that was a crazy final couple of laps between the cars behind Daniel Cox. What happened for you in those final couple of laps?
Well, on the restart, the 77 was like under me on the start finish line. I decided to like shove him down there. I thought I was gonna get turned, but luckily I didn't. I got so lucky there. I think we're even now. But we had a very good car.
You had the fastest time of the race. Do you think it was your line?
Yeah, totally. Of course. I decided to take 2 tires on that first caution because we were like in the back on the initial start. So
Yeah, the tires were a clear advantage for you, Michael, especially coming to the line racing the 03. You spun him out, I think, and he ended up backwards coming across the line looking like Eric Almirola from earlier today.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that. I didn't see that. I'm gonna look at the replay.
So, anyone you want to thank?
I want to thank my parents, my whole family, really, for supporting me.
Well,
And that's it.
congratulations on your second place finish. Hopefully, it helps you a lot in points, and hopefully, we'll see you back here at USA International Speedway next Monday.
Yeah, can't wait. We finished second, but this time next week's gonna be redemption. See you there.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, here's Daniel Cox is in the booth. Let's get him in. Hey, Daniel, this is Atlee and Joe in the booth. Do you copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So, congratulations on your win. We saw a great pit strategy when you came in on that caution for 2 tires. What happened there throughout that race?
Just when they said there's going to be a competition caution, I kind of ran it hard the first half, and then the second half I babied a little bit, and then right place at the right time and won it.
Yeah, it was a heck of a run after taking those tires. Looked like you were the class of the field, with the exception of Michael Rosero, who had a little bit faster of a lap. He just didn't have the time to get to you. Anybody you want to thank here?
Not really. I just thank y'all for hosting. It was a good race, and hopefully get a few more wins.
All right, well, get out there and watch that race. Go watch your performance. It's a pretty good broadcast and some really good racing to watch. So,
All right, thank you guys.
yeah, man.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for race number 3 of season 2. Looks like Hawkins, oh yeah, Travis Hawkins. He's the guy who pulled the Eric Almirola. He's in the booth. Let's get him in. Hey, Travis, this is Atlee and Joe in the booth. Do you copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So that was a very hectic finish between you and the 23 of Mike Rosero. You slid across the finish line backwards. What happened there those final couple of laps in that green-white checker and throughout the race?
Well, I rolled off 10th, and I tell you, from the beginning, my goal was just going to be right around, keep my nose clean. And after a few laps of running, the car come in, and I decided I was going to go for it, and got in the right place at the right time. And me and Michael was having a good run there at the end, and come across the line. I figured I'd see what I could get out of him, and there went the car, so I went with it.
Hey, it was reminiscent of Eric Almirola today, so at least you got something in common with a pro driver today.
That's right.
Anyone you want to thank? Any family members, sponsors, anything like around those lines?
I just got to thank Daniel that won the race, Cox and Son Logan, and got to thank Greg's Core Supply, and just thank everybody that's watching and everybody that raced. It was a clean, good race. Thank y'all too.
Great, congratulations on your 3rd place finish, and hopefully we'll see you back here next week at USA International Speedway.
All right, thank you.
So thank you for joining us for race number 3 of season 2 of the Short Track Super Stock Series, hosted by the iRacing Super Stock League and sponsored by Econo Auto Painting and Body Works and Smith Wraps and Graphics. I am Atlee Manwees, and I have been joined tonight by Joe Wright. Please make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. A large number of our viewers still are not subscribed, so if you want to change that statistic, make sure to subscribe. Visit us on our website at intensitybroadcasting.com. You can contact us on our website or our Facebook page if you want us to announce your iRacing league. And that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and tomorrow we're going to be racing at Charlotte and the trucks with the Route 66 Summer Speedway Series. Joe, I know you're going to be there.
Yeah, hopefully we have a good turnout this week. Last week was a bummer. We had some technical difficulties, but hopefully have some good turnout and some really good racing again this week.
So make sure to tune into that. And then Friday, we may or may not have F&D Speedway racing. So that's another thing to look forward to. So we got a great week planned ahead for Intensity Broadcasting, and hopefully we'll see you again coming back to watch more races. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time. Over and out.